Update 4.9 highlight. Whoa, as if there wasn't enough info to talk about today. Yo, K9, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that, guys. Follows are free and help the channel to grow, so thank you. As if we didn't have enough to talk about. Oh my gosh. Let's get into this. Guys, you gotta love it. I'm bringing you all the info today. First, live on Twitch before you get it anywhere else. Before you get it on YouTube. Before you get it anywhere else. We're bringing it to you live and in person. Here we go. Update 4.9 brings about one of the most important features of recent months, which is the Guardian Ring. With it, you'll be able to breathe new life into duplicate champs and find a new use for them. We've discussed it in several videos, including a feature preview, so you might have already seen the details. And so here we go, talking about Guardian Ring again. It's a new building that's going to appear in your Bastion and takes the place of the Sparring Pit. Guardian Ring is a new building that appears near Bastion and takes place of the Sparring Pit, but no worries. We will not be removing the Sparring Pit. It's just going to be rolled into the Guardian Ring. Upon tapping the building, there's going to be a menu. We're going to see Sparring Pit, Faction Guardians, Empower Champs, Unbind Champs, and Token Trader. And we're going to talk about that. Sparring Pit, nothing's going to change about the Sparring Pit. That's going to stay the same. Now, Faction Guardians is you can assign duplicate, rare, epic, and Lego champs to be Faction Guardians, and they're going to boost stats of all champs the same rarity in the chosen faction. So we talked about that a couple times. So say, for example, if you have 3, we'll just use Molly as an example. If you have 3 Mollys, you can use 2 Mollys to put into the Guardian Ring to be Faction Guardians, and you get a stat boost for your legendary dwarves. That's kind of an example that they're talking about. Now, empowering champs. This tab allows you to feed legendary champs with duplicate stats in order to empower them. You can do this up to 4 times. Though you can't get duplicates of Lydia, Gomlock, and a few of the other ones, there is going to be other champs you can use as a duplicate instead. And then Unbind Champ and Token Trader is you'll be able to get rid of a legendary champ, get some life tokens, and be able to trade in the life tokens to get a different legendary champ. So we had already seen some examples where Minea, there's going to be Sir Nicholas, I think Molly, and a couple other champs as well too. And now new champions! New champs, guys! We're starting with a legendary Shadowkin, Kaioku. I already love, I love her face in the design. We haven't even seen much of this, but here we go. One-Eyed Beast attacks an enemy and places 3 hits if the target's under 3 or more debuffs, and has a chance of placing a weaken. And looks like Spirit Defense Shadowkin. And that's interesting to see because we've been seeing so many attack Shadowkin too, so it's really nice to see a defense. Blood Curdle is gonna be the A2. It's an AoE decrease attack. After attacking, has a chance of playing HP burn on all enemies without decreased attack debuff. But wait, there's more. A3 is called Kaioku's Horde. Places ally protection on allies and also places block damage and gets an extra turn. Her passive is called Wellspring. Every time this champion is hit with a critical hit, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP and does an increased defense on all allies. That's a nice passive. So every time she gets hit with a crit, she does an AoE heal and AoE increased defense on your allies. That's really neat. And their auras increases ally defense in all battles by 30%. I like it, gotta say, really neat. How many books? 11 books. Not bad, considering I was expecting 15 or 18 or something. We're talking 11 books here. All right, next is Gamaran. Legendary Spirit Support Shadowkin. Very interesting looking, so looking more kind of like the Oni, the demon type. A1 is called Seal Scroll. Attacks an enemy and each hit has a 30% chance of placing block active skills. A2 is called Thief of Blood. It's an AoE and has a chance of stealing a random buff from the enemy. After stealing a buff, applies a buff spread and place it on allies. That is really neat. So it's kind of the opposite. You know, we have the debuff spreads. This is a buff spread. So when this champ steals a buff, applies the effects onto champions, onto your team, which is really neat. That's a nice little addition there too. A3 is called Dread Invocation. And it says can target dead or living enemies. I feel like this is unique. Do we have anybody that targets dead champs yet? I don't really know. If the target is dead, places block revive and then attacks all enemies. Each enemy receives damage equal to 20% of target's max HP. If the target is a boss's minion, the damage is equal to 20% of champ's max HP, and the attack cannot be a crit but ignores shield and 100% of target defense. If the target's alive, places True Fear and heals all allies. If the target's a boss or boss minion, the healing is equal to 20% of this champ's max HP, and the True Fear cannot be resisted. I feel like that's different, that's unique. And the passive is called Soul Charge. Revives a random ally with 30% HP and 30% turn meter each time an enemy is killed. Yes, block revive on a dead champ is neat. That's new, right? Like I said, I don't think we've seen that. Next, Urticada. Urticada looks like a grill demon spawn. Spirit attack demon spawn. You guys noticing these are all spirit champs? When's the last time that's happened? Not one magic, they're all spirit. Metaphysic spines. Attacks an enemy and each has a 30% chance of placing a poison. Poison agonist. Attacks an enemy, has a 30% chance of placing poison sensitivity. Oh, so she's like Frozen Banshee. Guys, it looks like we kind of have like an epic version of Frozen Banshee now too. Now, Wretch Nexus attacks 4 times and has a chance of placing a hex. So poisons and hex. Passive is called Bloodborne. Whenever this champ or an ally lands a crit under a hex, has a chance of placing a poison. And the auras increases ally speed in all battles by 15%. So she looks kind of like, this makes me think she's gonna be a bug as well. And I'm thinking this is a bug, just my guess, because it says metaphysic spines here, makes me think that very similar to the new guy who's right here, Vildrax. Vildrax is the fusion for this week that actually comes out in 2 days, right? Magic support demon. Verminous Grasp attacks an enemy and has a leech. A2 is called Duke of Flies. It's an AoE hex. A3 is called Swarm of Horrors. It's AoE and increases the duration of enemy debuffs by a turn. When enemies are under hex, has a 60% chance of putting one of their skills on cooldown as well. And Pestiferous is the passive. Has a 10% chance of stealing the heal each time an enemy under hex is healed. Now it does say that doesn't work against bosses. And the auras increases ally accuracy in all battles by 40. And Wyther the Crowned, Force Spirit, legendary demon. Soul's Impalement, attacks all enemies and has a leech and continuous heal on a random ally. So A1 is an AoE leech with a continuous heal on 1. A2 is called Feel No Pain, places increased defense on all allies and increases the duration of a continuous heal. And it instantly activates any continuous heal buff on them. A3 is called Azure Redeemer, removes all debuffs from allies and heals them. Her passive is called Eternal Flame, places a continuous heal buff on the ally with the lowest HP for 1 turn at the start. And her auras increases ally resistance in all battles by 50. Drop me some comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. I know that we did talk about some of the updates like the Guardian Circle. You know, all of that you could see up here. Some of the things that are coming is, you know, we have the Faction Guardians empowering, unbinding with life tokens. And then we have new champs. So we have Kaioku, Gamaran, Urticada, Vildrax, and Wyther the Crowned. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Are you excited about these champs? And I gotta say, like, looking at these legendary champs, not a lot of books, if this is how it truly stays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 books here. I mean, Vildrax is a lot of books, but I'm actually talking like the Legos. Legos, we have that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. So we got 10 here. $11. You know, and truthfully, I was expecting more books, so not bad. But I would love to know what you guys think. Make sure you leave me some comments down below and tell me. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, check out some more videos up here in the playlist on the top right.